Philips invents the compact disc, and music enters the digital age. Now Philips invents the compact disc interactive, and the digital age comes to video entertainment with interactive games, information, entertainment, and films. All with pure digital sound and stunning video images. Philips invents CDI, the ultimate machine for compact discs and amazing pictures. Philips invents for you.
Hi guys, here's a video I meant to put up ages ago, because I remember purchasing this from a guy in Germany about 5 or 6 years ago. It was the Philips Cdi 450 interactive player. Now, if you haven't heard of the Philips Cdi, then it just goes to show how old I'm getting. The Philips Cdi was an all-in-one multimedia player brought out in the EU in 1992. Basically, you could play your music CDs, you could play your photo CDs, and you could also play video CDs or VCDs. Now, as you can see here, this console that I bought about 5 or 6 years ago is in fantastic condition. All the booklets and stuff are there for it, all the warranty cards and everything. Also, this demo disc, which actually you put into your video CD player when you first got it, to basically, it was a tutorial on what you could do with it. It's actually quite an interesting CD, and there's quite a lot of information and just showing you what games, different things you could do with your CDI player. It's fantastic. This is a German power supply. Now, it's the same voltage as the rest of Europe, but the plug on the end of it is just a 2-pin, so you'd have to use we've 3-pin here, you'd have to use a little adapter to plug it in. But the connection that plugged into the back of the CDI, I want to show you here now, guys. If anyone knows the RJ45 Ethernet connection that you have on your standard Ethernet, look at the connection here. It looks exactly the same as actually the RJ45 connection. I think it was an Ethernet cable, but it's not. That's actually the power cable that plugged into the back of the CDI. Now, as you can see here, guys, every part of this console, the person that had it before me really looked after so well. I mean, everything's in its bags and very well kept. Now, I've kept it as good as I could for the last 6 years. Now, wait till you see the controller that came with it. That was actually the controller. It was like you move your thumb over and back on it to move the cursor on the screen, and then you had A and B buttons. It was quite hard to play games with. I remember the first game I ever played with it was actually a tennis game. So, no, sorry guys, as you can see here, it's pretty awkward to do one-handed and record at the same time. But anyway, you can see here, I mean, he really did keep it well packaged, and I've kept it the same way for the last 6 years. And this is the actual Philips Cdi 450 player. As you can see here, it's in very, very good condition, and it's nice and compact. And as you'll see further on in the video, I'm going to show you maybe 2 more other CDI players that I have, which aren't as compact. I actually prefer this one. This to me looked more like a games console, and this was actually the first one I ever saw or ever had. This version was the very, very first version I ever saw, so I never really saw the other versions until years and years later. Now, as you can see here, it's just a spring-loaded clip.
Say you're going to buy a CD player and you're thinking. But then you hear about the next generation CD player.
It's called CDI, and it works with your TV to bring you the ultimate in movies, games, and family entertainment.
Awesome! Awesome is right. Awesome sound, awesome pictures, awesome choices.
CDI, fella friend.
CDI kid, huh?
Now get into CDI, starting at $2.99 with $200 of free software.
Now, as I said, this is actually one of the other Philips CDIs I have, Philips Cdi 210, which, if you had a VCR player back in the 90s, you can clearly see, if you had that in your, it looks like a VCR, basically, but it actually is a in the CDI player. Now when you would have bought this system, you would have had, in the back of it here, there's an extension you take off, and you would have to insert this video. It didn't come with this card. You had to buy this card separate, and it just basically allowed you to play certain games, and it also allowed you to play movies on your CDI player. Now, I think that I have another one of these coming up now again. It's a more compact, smaller one, kind of towards the end of the CDI's life. It's the Philips Cdi 470, which is basically a more compact Philips Cdi player. Again, you would have had to buy the adaptive, the VCD card or the extension slot card for the digital video cartridge, so you could actually play certain games again and certain movies. Well, you had to. Well, no matter what, you had to. This is it here. You had to buy this digital cartridge, no matter what. For any CDI player that you had to buy this to enable video playback. But again, guys, it's one of these more obscure consoles or systems from the early 90s, and I mean, it was a complete package. Movies. You could even get online with this. You actually could get online. Kind of 95, 96, you could buy a keyboard for it, a mouse, and you could actually surf the actual web, the internet, back in, we'll say 94, 95, 96. Now, once again, I'm just showing you guys here. You remove this clip to actually insert your MPEG card, your video CD card. Basically, there's very fine pins along the white cartridge slot. Be very, very careful when you're putting one of these in, because you could end up bending the pins. It's very straightforward. It lines up, and you just push it gently down in until it actually sits flat. You gotta be very careful. It'll actually go in itself, nice and flat, like I've done just here. Now, and the last thing to do then, is to get your cover and put it back on. Oh, here I go. Look, I have it the wrong way around. It ain't going to fit that way. 1 second there now. So basically, that cover just clips back on, and you've now enabled your CDI player to play CDs, games, and now with this cartridge in, movies. So it opens up the full library of CDI stuff. Now, the CDI stayed around till 1998, and it was discontinued in 1998 here in Europe. I'm not too sure about the rest of the world, but in Europe mainly it was discontinued. Now here I have from just a wireless controller that you would have got with a CDI. I actually got this with the front-loading CDIs that I bought. It's a wireless controller. You could use it the same as the other controller, but it isn't brilliant for playing games and stuff. There is actually a game controller, which I have, but I couldn't find today for the video, but I will find it. And I'll do an update to this video, and I'll show you the little game controller, which has 3 buttons on it and an analog, and it's actually quite good. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and we shall talk to you guys in the next one.